welcome to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host as always, Tina. How you doing, Tina?
I'm good, Rob. How you doing?
Oh, you know, a dollar late and a day late and a dollar short.
Dollar short.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, our wires got twisted and tons of other stuff, but you know, now we're doing it today, so not bad.
Yeah,
you know, the heat's coming again, just so you know.
It is. Sorry, guys, that we are a day late.
Yes,
life got in the way.
Yeah, every blue moon it'll happen. You know, it happens. So we were throwing around subjects, and you know, we talk about a lot of stuff on here, like relationships and love and whatever. And then you were like, let's talk about Diddy. And I was like, nah, all right, well, you know, sometimes you got to throw curveballs. So I don't know much about this case. I do know he was arrested. You know a little bit more about it, and we'll just kind of talk about the implications, because of course he is innocent until proven guilty.
Sure he
is. But it sure seems, I mean, look, they didn't even put him out on bail, and they put him on suicide watch.
Yeah.
So,
and now they indicted him today, from what I understand.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I don't know what's going on. So
yeah, it's been on a lot of social platforms, also news. It seems like it's everywhere. Like normally I don't talk about anything because, you know, doing hair, I don't want to talk about anything, but I'll talk about people's personal stuff. But as far as politics and stuff that's going on in the world, I try to keep it to a minimum just because that's just the smart way to be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And Jay-Z has been on everybody's tongue today. And so I started on social media and just getting video after video after video after video. Then I'm looking it up and I'm like, no, this is true. No, they're saying this is true. You know, so this guy's going to go down and not in a way he was going down before.
Yeah, I mean, I also, and look, Diddy's going to drop dimes on everybody. So I think that's why Jay-Z's name's been thrown around, because
Jay-Z, J-Lo, Justin Timberlake, Oprah, Ellen.
Yeah. Anyone who's had anything with that guy.
People. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a video today. I guess Ice Cube did a show last night and was like kind of making jokes that he's never been to Diddy's house. He was like, yeah, you're not going to hear our names in there. I was like, damn. Like, so I think you're going to see people distancing themselves. I'm trying to see if there's any news, and you're going to find people
he's always been against Diddy. He's been very vocal on it. But, you know, the crazy thing is they talk about Diddy's parties in so much of our music, you know, in like songs that, you know, we've partied to. And I didn't think anything of it. You know, okay, it's a party, big deal. I didn't realize to what, you know, they call them freakouts. They're not even parties. I don't know if that's freaking out or just like you should be put in a cage because you're an animal. Like things that are coming out are just insane. All of the people being trafficked. And that's not just women. It's a lot of men too.
It's a lot of everyone from what I'm reading.
Going across state lines, racketeering, just the stuff that they're, you know, threatening people so that they do what he wants them to do. A lot of political figures are involved in this, and there was even a video. I don't know if this has truth, but this is what I heard, where Michelle and Barack Obama were with an underage teen, and or maybe it was preteen. Oh, damn it. I wish I kept that. Anyway, the kid was killed and nobody ever found the kid. Like the kid just disappeared and is currently missing. Like they're coming up with crazy shit. Like who knows if that's true, but that's how bad the stories are getting now. It's just insane.
Yeah, I think, look, I think a lot more things are going to be coming out, like crap ton.
Yeah.
Mostly once they start reviewing tapes, and you know, there's a lot of stuff I'm sure going to be coming out, and it's going to be. They
were saying there's thousands of tapes. They even have tapes. They even have tapes that his ex-girlfriend was getting like kicked and like hit and drug through a hotel.
Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of what opened all this up.
Yeah, she's the one that opened it all.
Yeah,
and I can't even tell you what, like, it just looked violent, what I've seen so far. But it's funny because it's like the women, I guess because we're so used to women being violated in situations like this, but all the men that are coming up on this, like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett is being, they're calling her out, saying that she let Jaden go to these freakouts and that he had to participate in stuff there. And Jaden, he got emancipated at 16 because he didn't want to deal with his parents anymore. He has nothing to do with his mom. Like, who does that?
Yeah, no one does that.
Well, can't say no one, but there shouldn't be anyone doing that.
I mean, yeah, I don't think many people, would be okay with that. But look, I think for one, it starts with money. This is just, it's a money thing. I mean, we've seen, look at Epstein's Island, any of these things where you see trafficking or underage people being brought in or people being sexually abused. It all starts with people who have a crap ton of money. And the names that we've talked about, I think, have also been linked to Epstein's Island.
I'm sure.
Which is a whole other, thing that I think.
And everything kind of stopped with him because he killed himself in prison.
Yes. He killed himself.
Yeah. Since then, you notice we haven't heard anything about it. Nothing about the victims, nothing about his girlfriend that was supposedly grooming the young girls for sex with him. She's in prison. Well, but there's nothing more that was said. It just stopped with them.
That's what I mean.
How deep that shit goes? Like, why were they the only ones that seemed to have anything drop on them?
Well, and then just think this, where's the client list? There's a client list. They know about it, but it's been buried by people.
By public officials that are doing this shit with Diddy now. Like,
yeah. I mean, I think that's what you're going to really find out is, what is this guy going to say? First of all, let's go there. And then, where's that going to go? What's that going to open up?
And what are they covering up? What else is going on in this world that they're trying to cover up with this big scandal? Because we all know that this is how people get away with shit. They'll throw a big scandal up, make us all watch that, and then stuff is going on behind our back. I mean, there's stuff going on in Israel right now. There's stuff going on in the Middle East. We're getting ready to vote for a new president. Like, what's really going on in this world?
Right. I mean, I think you just have to ask yourself too, like there's the propaganda of the media has been going on for forever. Like as much as they can do it, they're going to do it. I think with this, you're going to find out that, look, people do horrible, horrible things.
That's no joke.
Mostly with this. I think it's going to be interesting to really see whose names come out, like for real stuff. Because look, it's all hearsay until it's not. Like, if there's video, I mean, could you imagine having to be the person to watch the video? Because someone's going to have to. Hours and hours, hours, and document hours.
And what they're saying is in the video is so twisted. It's so twisted.
I mean, there was 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I mean,
there were cases of lube that were equally as many.
Yeah. So like just the sheer number alone, like if you just think of what 1,000 bottles looks like it's not just like, oh, there's 1,000. No, 1,000 bottles is cases and cases and cases and cases. So it's not like Like, to me, you have to start thinking of it from that standpoint. Like, oh, holy crap, that's a lot of shit. So, look, the allegations are obviously horrible, and I think we're going to find out way, way, way more.
I think there'll be a lot that we don't find out too.
Well, yes. Again, money talks.
Mm-hmm.
So who's, again, let's start at Epstein. That we know that I've seen, there's pictures of the flight list. So we know who went there. Now, who used the service of, I forgot what the girl's name is. The one that's in prison.
Heidi Fleiss?
No. Heidi Fleiss is before that.
Was another
that's another
one. Yeah.
That's a name. That's a name from our
No, you meant since the Epstein trial. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it starts with a G. She has a weird name. But the bigger thing is why is that list being protected? And now we have video, like real videotapes of people that were at those parties. Are those names going to come out? Like, what do you think? Do you think that they're all going to be stifled and go away, and Diddy's going to take all the heat?
No.
You don't think so?
I think that a lot of people, there's going to be a big group that's going to go down, but it depends on how much money they want to throw at it as to whether it's going to be them or not. But like we're talking Oprah, she's got more money than God. I mean, let's be honest.
She's worth billions of dollars.
So you don't think she could buy her way out of this? She's come out clean as a whistle this far. And she was tied into the stuff that went on in Maui with the fire. And she's been tied into all kinds of craziness.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just think it's going to be, well, I hate to say interesting. Look, this guy was doing horrible shit. And if they were trafficking people, let's just say people, because that's probably the best way of putting it. If they were trafficking people, this is a Epstein Island style, cover up of, because it's not easy to do that. It's not like you just, order, hey, let's just do this and see what happens. No, we're talking about like deep, deep shit that is obviously big, and probably millions of dollars were given to people. And then what happens with those people? Like, who's tied into that part of it? Who's the people that were getting these people from other countries and bringing them there, or other states? And so I think it's a lot deeper than people think. Like, it's not just some nut job, pedo, or some nut job guy who's got a crap ton of money, who's just, because look, if you wanted private entertainment, it's not hard to buy. Right? It's like, it's just not. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from there.
It's definitely going to be interesting. We'll see what's going to happen with this, but there's so much. There's just so much. I'm so into it, watching it all on social media and watching it on TV. It's like every time I hear something, I stop and I'm like glued. I want to see these people go down. I really do.
Yeah, I think we all do. Like, look, I don't care who you are. If you're doing shitty stuff, you deserve to get what's coming to you.
Just the trafficking alone, like just human trafficking. Are you kidding me right now? Like, what is that? And when did this get so out of control?
I just think it's been hidden forever. Truly. I just think that, again, when you have that much money, it's easy to hide things.
When you go into, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just said, because it's, people are willing to take pay and to shut their mouth.
years ago when I went to Las Vegas airport, in the stalls of the bathroom, this is, if you're a victim of sex trafficking, dial this number, stay in the bathroom, dial this number, right? And I was thinking, God, those poor people, like, who would possibly want them? Like, they couldn't be here in the United States. But now I'm going, holy crap, it's been here under our noses the whole time. And it's so abundant, like it's so out of control, the amount of people that are taken and brutalized for the sake of sex, for people that have power and money.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make sense to me that this is what our world is coming to.
It's also like, just think of all the people who go missing. You know, and there's a lot of them.
So many
just disappear. And I mean, I have seen it in the news where, you know, people are being found 4 or 5 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And then all this shit comes out where they're like, yeah, I was kidnapped and I was, you know, sent to this place and I've been doing this and I've been doing that. Then you have to put 2 and 2 together, and it's been happening a long time. Like selling sex is forever, right? I mean,
selling
that's
sex is one thing if you're selling yourself, but when other people are doing it, or that's the only way you're going to get it, you're going to get anywhere in life, is if you sell your soul. That just, to me, that's just so beyond. I don't know. I'm having a hard time even comprehending it. Like, why would you even want to have people that you have to pay for sex? Like, what possibly are you getting off on? What, that you have some sort of power, maybe? Because
yeah, for sure.
That's ridiculous.
And I just think that when you have, like, let's just say at that level of people, right? When you have that much money, you're bringing in, you know, hundreds of people. Like, this isn't like, I want one person.
It's any newcomer that tried to get into the music business. Like, he's got his hands in everything.
Yeah. Well, and then just think about like all those like teeny bopper bands that he was, you know, didn't he have like a girl group?
Yeah, I think he did.
I think so.
At one point. But even like Justin Bieber, they showed a video of him just totally, like, he was on something, because he was like, how many fingers do I have up? And then he said, wow, how long is this feeling going to last? Is it going to last forever? Like, he was a kid, like a little kid. Not an adult, not anywhere near where he should be using drugs in any capacity. And this was okay for him for years. And then there's video of him being patted down by Diddy, and him saying, you realize I got stuff on you, right? You know, I have video on you, so I got to make sure that you're not wearing a wire. He's patting him down like he's hugging him and greeting him.
Yeah.
And
I remember seeing that video.
Poor kid having to go through that for how long?
Right.
And did his parents know about it? Did they know what they were sending their kid to do?
Probably not.
Jada Pinkett Smith did. Like, why would she think that that's okay?
Yeah. I no one should ever. There was a group that it was in. Let's see. So they were called Datney Kane. They were an American girl group. They were on something called MTV's Making the Band.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, so one of the girls named Aubrey O'Day, I guess, is coming out saying that there were grooming allegations and emotional manipulation from Diddy when she was part of the group. So
even Clive Davis, he's a record producer.
Mm-hmm.
He's all over the place. He's the one that backed American Idol. He's supposed to be caught up in this too.
Yeah, see, this is there's going to be crazy shit. And then let's see, Wendy Williams called out Diddy Combs' behavior nearly a decade before his tracking arrest.
Mm-hmm.
So, whoa. Did you hear that?
That was not me.
That was Alexa telling me to do the laundry.
No, she should tell you to do the laundry.
Yeah. So, wild. So I guess this has been going on a long time.
A long time.
I guess in 2004, Wendy Williams, if you know who she is, the talk show person, in a memoir, accused Diddy of playing a role in her 1998 radio firing. So like this guy's been doing crazy shit for a long time.
Also, Monique, she used to say that she was fat, PHAT, pretty hot and tempting. That's what she said, that he ruined her career because she wouldn't get on board with all that shit.
Wow.
And they're saying now TLC that that Lisa, I believe her name's Lisa Lopez, right? That she was killed over something that went on with Diddy and all this crap that's going on right now.
Oh, yeah. I remember TLC.
Rihanna is another one that she quit doing music because of what they were forcing her to do or getting her to do. So she didn't want to deal with that anymore. And gosh, there's so many names. There's so many people caught up.
Yeah, I think
this.
this list and things that are combined are going to be everywhere. I'm more interested to see, look, they're going to get him. Like, let's be honest. Like, this isn't going anywhere. It's going to end with him getting, put away. I'm interested in seeing where they go with this. Like, who else is really going to be implicated? Or if someone does, because there's got to be more people than just him involved. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's probably the mastermind for sure, but there's no way he's the only one. That there's just, at least to me, on paper, that just doesn't seem possible. Do you know what I mean? Because when you have a compound like that and multiple people are being invited all the time, there's more people in the know. And here's the flip side. If you were there, should you be implicated? Do you know what I mean?
If you saw things going on that were against the law or that were brutal against a person, you should definitely freaking say something.
Right. But I don't know the law part of it, but like, could you be implicated if, let's say, there was, I guess you'd have to know that people were underage, but do you know what I mean? Like, where does it end from the legal standpoint? Because if you were there and you were involved in the acts, you're kind of guilty of it, or at least that's how I would see it. I don't know the reality of that, but man, on paper, that sure seems like you're in a bad spot. I bet you that's why people's, are lawyering up and getting ready. Cause I heard, I don't know if it's true or not. Again, this is all hearsay from what I've heard but Jay-Z is already talking about suing him.
Really?
Yeah. Because his name came up. So he's trying to get ahead of the I'm guilty. Because obviously if you come out and say I didn't do anything, then if you're countersuing, then you're putting yourself in a position of I'm not guilty, which is, like anyone, you'd be smart to do that.
Right.
I just think we're at a crossroads with what's going on now. Like, this has to become a bigger issue. It just has to. If we keep doing keep doing this and not saying anything, or not really putting a crap load of people away, it's not going to stop. I mean, it's not going to stop anyway, but there has to be a way of slowing this down. Because
I don't know if there's going to be a way of slowing this down. There's a list of people who stepped down within 24 hours of Diddy's arrest. Music execs, president of fine arts, general manager of Martha's Vineyard, lacrosse coaches, Bay City mayors, Newark mayors, like people that they shouldn't have been a part of this. Doctors, CEOs, chief prosecutors. Like, it's just insane.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the problem is that I'll give you an example of how easy it is to get involved. Let's say you're not even in the music business, but you're a doctor who might be supplying drugs to the party.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to get in, and then they're going to look into who wrote prescriptions, who picked them up. Again, this is just assuming that happened, but that is how easy it could turn into something, that you don't think about. And that's how regular people get involved, because sometimes you need those type of regular people to do other things or bring people in.
There's even like a drug they keep talking about that you could take so that if you have if you're basically doing things that could put you in a position where you could be at risk for HIV, you would take this drug.
Mm-hmm.
And he's even got people that have this what is it, Truvada, and there's pre-exposure prophylaxis. Like, there's just crazy, like that drug goes around like it's not, like it's nothing to them. Mm-hmm. that a lot of people are taking that are going to these parties because of what they're doing. It doesn't protect against other sexually transmitted diseases. It reduces the risk of HIV from sex by about 99%, and from injection drug use by at least 74%. But there was drug use going on there. There were, from what I hear, there were bowls of pills. If people wanted to shoot up, there was whatever you needed, mm-hmm. you had it.
Right.
It's so much. Like, you got to understand, I am not big to be sitting and following a story at all, but this story is just everywhere. It's on everything. It's just a huge story. And there's so many different facets to it.
Mm-hmm. And I think those are the bigger things that you're going to start seeing really jump out. Like you said, like the drugs. Again, the drugs alone is a offense.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
and even breakups are happening, like J-Lo and oh God, who is she with right now? I see his face. Ben Affleck. They broke up supposedly, and to get ahead of this, like, he wanted to be away from her. And then Mila Kunis, she left gosh, why am I trying? Ashton Kutcher. Keep trying to blank, because he was friends with Diddy and went to a lot of these parties, and she, according to the news, is just disgusted by him. Right, so she actually left him, and I'm surprised, because that seemed like it was a pretty good relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that here's the thing with Hollywood is you're protecting your image, future work. Mm-hmm. So if you can get away from anything that can damage your reputation, people are going to start doing that for sure. You're going to see just people walking back on everything because they can't be, within 6 feet of someone who's going to go to prison,
right?
Or was involved in sex parties, or because you look at who was the producer who got in trouble? He had the
producer.
Barry. Is it Barry? Yeah. No, he was the one guy who got in trouble. He was making women do sex acts to get film work.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, hold on. I'll get his name. He was a producer.
But I'm wondering how much of all this is all tied in.
Oh, it was
like
Harvey
from
Weinstein.
Epstein to, yeah.
Yeah, he was convicted of rape and sexual assault against 2 women, but they said there
was a bunch more. Yeah,
there was a lot. He was sentenced to 16 years, but
and see, why is only 2? Why was there only 2?
No, but I think that there was a bunch that came forward, but there was only 2, I think, that were prosecuting against him. Yeah, I mean, he's like 70 something years old. He's gonna die in prison. He's all screwed up. He also has a weird dick, I guess. And look at
Cosby too. You know, stuff came out about him and all the stuff he was doing. Apparently, it's kind of all tied in together.
Well, yes, like I said, you know, you look at these people, and money is of no object. So like, and that's why they're all kind of doing freaky shit, because like, you know, they're not regular people. You get to a point where regular is not fun, or you meet other people that are into weirder shit. That, I mean, again, 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. There's something weird going on there. You know what I mean?
I wonder. It definitely is weird. But what I'm wondering is like, what is going to come next? Like, are people really going to go down for this? Because they didn't when. Well, I brought her up, Heidi Fleiss. Nobody really went down for that. There was a couple of players, but she went down for it.
Of course, yeah.
But not really. You know, she's fine. She's out. She's living her life. She's doing her thing. Then Weinstein, he ended up killing himself. So that was the end of that. Like, how far are they going to take this? And why are they not taking it far enough?
Well,
you know, the Kardashians are in trouble on this. And like, it seems like everybody that's in the news these days is definitely mixed up in all of this.
There's just so many connections that, you know, these Hollywood, music, you know, they all kind of walk hand in hand. So you have to get to a point where now you have to start thinking, okay, a lot of people are involved in this.
Yep.
It's just who gets in trouble for it, I think, is the bigger picture. I mean, everyone's going to try to just say it was him. So, video is a killer. I mean, if what they have on people is going to come out, is going to be probably pretty brutal.
They're even saying FBI and CIA was in on this. Like they were at the parties. Really higher up people were there, and they're talking about the Illuminati tied up in this. Like, it doesn't end. Every day seems like it's just one more thing being pushed out there.
Right.
But I'm not really seeing, why are they not getting rid of more people? Why are they not, you know, a lot of people should be in jail right now from what they've already found on those videos. Why aren't they being arrested? Yeah,
I think you're going to see, you know, generally on things like this, if they had Diddy, they have other people, but they need to make sure that once they go after people, that it's like super airtight. Look, all these people have massive amounts of money to lawyer up, right? So
absolutely.
So I think that the first things you're going to see is that, and most of these are all allegations. So, you know, until it's rock solid, they waited to arrest him.
Yeah, they did.
So, you know, they needed to make sure, and shit, he left the country and went to a place where they couldn't extradite him. So from what I understand, he came back. So he must have thought he was either off the hook, or that they didn't have anything on him, or he was going to get on bail. That's the bigger thing. You know, they didn't give him bail. That's like very, very, very shocking. Because generally, you know, they would have.
Absolutely.
So for me, that's I'm more shocked about that that he didn't get bail, because generally they're pretty good about that with, but they must have a lot on him. A lot.
They went through 2 of his houses, or 2 or 3, and they took anything of any sort of electronic out of the place. So know that they're just they could really bury this guy. They're probably gonna not use even a third of what they have on him.
I mean, after a while, it doesn't matter. Once they have enough to convict him, the rest will just go unseen, or, I mean, if it goes to trial, which it probably will, there's whoever's on that jury is going to see a lot of shit. I mean, a lot. Or at least whatever the prosecuting team wants to make sure they see. They're going to get him for sure. I'm more, my guess is that he's going to go to the state and say, I have other shit on other people. I don't want to go to prison forever. What can I do to not go to prison forever? That's the bigger thing.
It'll be interesting, because now the feds have it. But if the feds were involved in it, how much of that are they going to hide? Because let's just face it, when you have a certain level of power, you could get away with everything. And it seems like he has for
at least a decade,
10, 15 years, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, at least a decade.
At least. And so looking at all that, like, who really is going to suffer for this? All the victims, for sure. But I mean, as far as like, are they going to go against the political people? Or are they going to go against the CEOs and the higher ups in the music industry? Like, how far are they going to take this? I want them to take it. Like, let's just get rid of this deviance, make everybody pay for what they did, and we'll deal with who was able to act after that, or who was able to be in the Super Bowl and sing on the halftime show. Like, well, let's worry about that after we get rid of this disgusting behavior.
Cesspool.
Yes, exactly.
Because that's what it is.
When you're dragging kids into things, when you're drugging people to get your way, when you're using video and pictures to control people like that, no, that needs to stop. It just absolutely needs to stop. There does not need to be that sort of crap going on, and that shouldn't be selling your soul shouldn't be the only way that you could get some fame and notoriety. That's just
right. I mean, it's unfortunate that people have been doing that forever, though.
Right.
So that's I think the bigger issue as well, is that this now needs to be really kind of thrown into the, hey, we need to nip this in the ass and get rid of people who are horrible and stop the practice of that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, that to me, that's the bigger thing. Like, how do we fix that?
We come down on everybody involved. That's how we fix that, because it is political people. It is people that are in higher ups in the law enforcement community. It is judges and people that have a lot of power, like the CEO of different organizations. Even something to do with the CEO of Nike is involved. Like,
yeah,
there are that was a strange noise. There are athletes that are involved. There are like,
well, for sure,
it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going.
Right. And I think that's where you're going to have the crazy, like, people worried. Because, so
there's a picture of him kissing Mike Tyson, and they look very juicy in that kiss. Like it wasn't just like two guys going, "Hey man, I'll let you know." Like it looked.
But I heard that Tyson kind of buried him. So
what do you mean?
Like said something like a while back.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, just add drugs and you can pretty much do whatever you want to do to anybody, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm disgusted with the whole situation and yet intrigued. Like, how are these people getting away with this shit?
Yeah, I mean, I know how they're getting away with it. Just money talks. People, you give someone enough money, they'll look the other way, unfortunately. Because
so disgusting.
We greed is horrible. So, look, we can wrap this up here shortly, but we're at a spot where I kind of agree with you. A lot of people need to go down for this. So it really stops people, because like you look at, again, Epstein, only one that went down. Harvey Weinstein, only one that went down for it. Epstein kills himself with quotation marks. And then, the video in his cell wasn't going. Like there's shit behind that one. But then you look at the only other person, his right-hand man, she goes down, she goes to prison, and the list of clients goes nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's being protected. It's, they're like, no, we can't do that. It's like, no. Everyone should come out. That list should be common knowledge. I had heard the other day, Trump during an interview said that if he gets elected, that's going to be one of the things he wants to unclose is the list. He wants that.
No wonder people are threatening suicide, or not suicide,
threatening
to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, because so
there's
to
a
me,
lot of money at risk.
There's a lot of money, and look, Diddy he was worth a lot. I mean, I don't know what his net worth was. Let's see what it is. Net worth as of right now, he's worth $600 million. So he's worth a lot of money.
From what? These sex parties?
No, record producing. He owned Bad Boy Records, so he owned.
Okay, he's not that smart though.
I mean, he's smart enough to be worth $600 million. He was the guy behind who was the big rapper that got killed? Heavyset guy.
Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, he was on his label, so he had his own record label. So Bad Boy Records, Notorious B.I.G.
There was talk that Tupac was killed because Tupac was breaking up with him.
Yeah,
or had broken up with him.
Yeah, so there could have been, Diddy could have had ties to his murder and Biggie's murder.
Mm-hmm.
So look, there's a lot of shit. And again, a lot of this is hearsay until it's proven. But I mean, there's a lot of things that this guy had his hands in. Pardon the pun. But, I think, this could go a lot deeper than just having parties with, people. Like, who knows what they're going to find out about who's going to drop a dime on him saying that like he had something to do with Tupac and Biggie's murder. Like he could go to jail for literally for the rest of his life. And then this is where I think he's going to be the one that starts dropping dimes on people and like, yep, I did this, but he was there and this is the proof and this is here and this is the proof. Next thing you know, like lots and lots and lots of people. I guess I just read on one of the sites here that 50 Cent was already producing a documentary on Diddy for Netflix before any of this went down.
Oh, so, yeah. 50 Cent has a bone to pick with Diddy for sure. Yeah.
So I think now, here's the thing. When you're doing a documentary on something like this and this all goes down during it, now it makes that documentary way more, valid. It's not just, hey, this is kind of what, they're probably going to have to go back and shoot stuff for the documentary because now shit has changed. It's not, oh, this is what we heard happen. No, this is what happened because we have video and baby oil.
Video, baby.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so my whole thing behind this is I'm kind of like, I agree with you. Like, this needs to change things. This needs to scare the living shit out of anyone who thinks this is right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, to me, I think we should throw people in wood chippers that are pedophiles and traffic people. But, you know, I'm the minority when it comes to that. Sometimes, you know,
are you though?
I mean, I'm probably the minority for people who admit it.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think you see a lot of that. People going, yes, I do agree with that. People won't say, yeah, we should throw them in wood chippers because they don't deserve to be on the planet. Some people just don't belong here, and it's unfortunate. People like that are just physically and mentally abusing people because they have the funds to do it. You know, I mean, I think you're going to see that Diddy probably has some kind of narcissistic, you know,
probably
behavior problem.
He always has.
You know, because once you get that kind of stuff, you know, you become where you're narcissistic and you think that, you know, you're right about everything.
It'll be interesting.
You know, let's hope that we get more news rather quickly and things kind of jump off quick. Because I think this needs to, like you said, it needs to be nipped in the bud. But I also think it needs to be done where other people are being indicted and taken in, and whoever had to do anything with this needs to really, you know, be part of the stopping of it. Like, and then, you know, start bringing in the people who had allegations 10 years ago. Wendy Williams, she's going to be all these people that were saying shit 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, all the people that have died that he's had involvement with, like girls that he was dating, all of a sudden their ex-boyfriends are killed and they never find him again. And
yeah, it's a good point.
It goes so deep. It's just so deep. I sit there and I'm going, oh my God, like, how does anybody stop this from happening? Like, I didn't see it coming, but I really want anybody that's involved with it to deal with their they need to get their comeuppance for sure. You know, they need to deal with what they've done. They need to make you know, reparations to people that they did it to. Like this, you got all that money, you're going to have to spread it out because all these people that you've hurt need therapy, need physical health help, all the things that are going on. Like, he should definitely have to pay for it.
Yeah, and it should all come out of that money. So they've already seized his assets.
Yeah.
So he's he's screwed. But
we'll see what happens with it though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping for the best and that nothing crazy is you know, that he doesn't get off or anything like that. But you know, like I said, I think this needs to be a very, very big warning shot over the bow of everything. People need to go, oh, I need to stay away from crazy shit and people doing dumb stuff and, you know, that kind of stuff. Because I think that's the bigger thing is we just need to make sure people are getting in trouble and it'll at least slow down.
I'd hope.
Yeah. All right. Any last words for today?
I hope he fries.
I mean, I get it. I hope he goes.
Fries.
I hope that everyone involved gets their coming ups, and I hope the people who've been damaged from this at least can now hold their head high and say, look, you know, I told you, and no one wanted to listen.
And all those poor people that tried to say something and nobody listened to them.
Yep.
I'm so sorry that you weren't listened to because you needed to be. It's
Agree.
could have stopped a lot of other people from getting hurt.
Yep. Alrighty. Make sure you check us out on social medias and check us out wherever you can listen to the podcast. And we're sorry that we're a day late, but life happens. And it's an opinion show. Don't get it twisted. Keep coming back every Wednesday. And me and Tina will be here. For my co-host, as always, I'm Rob. See you later.
See ya.